Hi, I'm Karen King. We had the business breakout session. Really quick. Community neighborhood success across the city. What happens after stage 3 funding ends? Access to small business resources, loans, etc. Business to business networking. Cities should hold banks accountable for businesses and community. Residents and cities should support small business. What could be done to support current business and bring in new business? Basic quality services. What happens to retail outlet? What happened to retail outlets in Oakland? Retail leakage, i.e. farmers market. The farmers don't live here, and one more. And then the last concern is that the businesses should develop a citywide strategy to support small businesses at all levels. So we chose 3 of those issues that everyone, of course, voted on. Number 1 was the last issue, number 11. Some of our solutions are, we had many, and we cannot go through everything. We ran out of time. So we decided, among us, that we're going to work together throughout the city to come up with a manifesto, a revolution to change, bringing our organizations to the table, okay? It says the city staff should be a part of the team. The citizens should be empowered. The number 1 thing that we feel that would vitalize our communities and bring in more businesses is art. Definitely shopping in Oakland. Everyone here needs to support the businesses that are already here. Small Business Month in Oakland, and it's been decided that it'll be September. This is Oakland Small Business Month. That's it for that. Something I didn't write, and something we really need to do is work on how the media portrays the city of Oakland to other people that do not live here. Okay, I said that. We need to support the businesses that are here. And so we're coming up with this manifesto of how that's all going to work together and how we can bring all the information to you about good businesses that are here. One way is going to be through Facebook page, linking it to the city, district to district, so that you'll know what's good in Laurel, you'll know what's good here in East Oakland, blah, blah, blah. Okay, one last. Oh, we also know that there's this really huge information bridge that needs to be fixed because there's a lot of resources built. There's a lot of resources throughout Oakland and nobody knows about them, okay? The very last thing that we know is a reality, it's a comment, and it's just something that we all figured out. Look at you all here today. We know that there's classes, there's information, there's everything everywhere, but nobody goes to these classes unless the mayor calls that meeting. When she calls the meeting, you will show up. You're here today. That's it.
So my name is Kelly. We are health. These are our overarching issues that we talked about. At first, each person gave one issue. One was health care for the elderly, health options and access, promote sickle cell awareness education, eating impact on body, environmental pollution. Here, back away. Move over. There we go. Can't see. Environmental pollution, emissions control, impact on health, asthma, cancer, obesity, physical fitness, nutrition and prevention, independence, accessibility, support. I can't read that. I didn't write that. Paratransit support, thank you. Mental health, youth, medical insurance, built environment violence, youth engagement and empowerment, increase African American blood donor base, and that's connected to sickle cell anemia, and infant mortality. So our top 3 issues were, and in this order, was environmental pollution emissions control and impact on health and asthma. And what we talked about with that was the fact that we're in the corridor. I mean, we all probably know we're in the corridor of 580 and 880. And a lot of people probably don't realize why they have asthma. And that's because we get a lot of NAST, for lack of a better word, from the 2 freeways. So one of our solutions was first to educate. Obviously, we can't tear down the highways, and we're not going to be putting up a wall either, but we can educate our communities about that and maybe move forward from there. Also, we can have, there can be political action around this, of educating the communities. And I have contact Mayor Gordon, Port of Oakland Commissioner, around this issue. I'm sorry, Margaret Gordon of the Port of Oakland. So what I'd like to do around the sickle cell anemia issue is actually invite one of our people that came to the group who spoke very eloquently about it. It's actually a youth, one of our youth from Richmond. She came over here and she's promoting sickle cell anemia awareness, so I'm just gonna step aside.
Hi everyone, my name is Sophia Abdul Sabur and I am 22 years old. I have sickle cell anemia and we were talking about how we can bring more awareness to this disease. A lot of people do not know a lot about sickle cell. Sickle cell affects tons of people within the African American community, but it is not just limited to people within the African American community. Sickle cell affects people in many different ways. I have had surgery on both of my eyes due to having a sickle cell crisis and lack of blood flow into my eyes, which was causing me to potentially go blind. I've also had pain crisis within my wrist and my knees that have caused me to be hospitalized on many occasions. And tons of people need blood donations. Blood is highly, I cannot stress that enough. It is highly important for a lot more African American people to go and donate blood. Tons of people have transfusions. A lot of them have transfusions anywhere from up to once a week to every 2 weeks to every 3 to 4 weeks. And we need to get the blood within the bank so that they can send it to the people who need the help and need the extra blood. So, yes, you can donate at the Red Cross Center in Oakland off of Claremont, and they have the Blue Tie Tag Drive, and when you go there, just let them know you want to donate towards the Blue Tie Tag Drive, and that blood specifically goes to patients with sickle cell. So my job that I have taken on and a lot of other people have taken on is to promote the awareness of sickle cell and let more people know about it and just really inform the community that sickle cell really is a big issue, even though it's not being brought up in a lot of conversation. It is a huge event that affects all of our lives. So thank you very much.
Hi. We, 3 main issues that we talked about was education, budget cuts, relationships with the police, and violence. With education, they asked for caring teachers and respect from the students and discipline from the parents to the students, and no nonsense, meaning like you shouldn't get sent out of class just because you got the wrong shirt on or something like that. They want to learn more about their histories and to depend on themselves and not rely on others all the time, to know that you have it in you to do what you want to be able to do. Budget cuts, they talked about how the students at the colleges went to Sacramento and they made themselves be able to be heard, and so they talked about us being able to do that as the youth and going to make ourselves being heard.
Relationships and violence. We said we need to take away the bridge between, we need to make the bridge where it could connect between the community as in youth and the police department, and we need to learn how to like help them to help us and what we need, because it's not only them, it's some of us also. And in relationships, what else did we say about relationships? Yeah, and we just said to stop the violence, we have to, as she said, it also starts at home. And about another thing we felt about the violence, that it wouldn't be so much violence if the law kind of let the parents raise their kids more themselves. And we also talked about, because if the law doesn't let the parents raise their kids, we're not saying they should be completely taken out of like helping and stuff, but if the law doesn't let the parents raise the kids, the law is going to kill the kids.
So, in the next week or two, these were longer recommendations. Give us about 2 weeks. You should see the summaries. You'll see them posted also on the website if you don't have email. And this whole program, as recorded by this gentleman here from K-Top, is going to be rebroadcast on Friday. So Friday on Channel 10, you'll see the rebroadcast. Is that right?
Starting Friday and continuing until next week on K-Top and the web.
Every day? What?
Starting Friday.
Starting Friday, he won't tell me what days, but starting Friday, and it may be on some additional days for about a week. So that's where we're at. So we have about, we're over, but we'd like to have, we have some questions submitted. Jose Dorado's going to help me do this. You can also stand in an open mic, but we're only going to have 10 minutes of speaking, unfortunately, because we went over. And while you're getting in line, I'm going to answer a couple of the questions that Jose collected real quickly. What is being done to hire more Oakland residents for the Oakland Police Force? Right now we have a lot of laid off people, so we're probably not going to have any accounting for about the end, at least till the end of the year, maybe the beginning of the year. But I'm doing two things. I actually talked to 20 foundations last week and asked them to give me money to increase the cadet and the explorer programs so that we can get high school kids involved in the law academies at Skyline and McClyman, and also grow our own kids, cops. That is, getting them to be cadets while they're in high school, getting them to be paid intern explorers during the summers, moving them from the academies at Skyline and McClyman's into the program at Merit, the criminal justice law courses there, and then to give extra points for the kids who have gone through that process in the hiring process. So that's one of the things I plan to do. I plan to civilianize all the hiring and move the police hiring into my personnel department. I plan to look at different criteria to give different amount of points for different items. So maybe less bad marks for someone who has poor credit. I don't know of a minority student in college today who doesn't have a little overrun on their credit cards, and looking at the different criteria. So that's one of the things that we're doing on that. I see the lines developed. Let me do one more. How can the community become more informed of any and all activities and police safety issues? If you gave us your email today, you will get, how many of you are on my weekly newsletter? Okay, just a few of you. If you have email, the rest of you will get a weekly newsletter from me that comes out Sunday mornings, depending on how much I had to do Saturday night. Sunday morning, sometime during Sunday, has activities for the whole rest of the week for the city, always has a report on public safety and upcoming activities, and lots of reports on how to buy Oakland. So those are two of the questions we had. We'll take a couple of them in the lines. So you can either ask a question or make a statement. You only have 1 minute. So pretend like you're Sanjeev, but shorter.